All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. About 24 hours from the time this recorded, Kansas City going to be running it up against the Baltimore Ravens to kick off this NFL season. They're the defending Super Bowl champions, but I think everybody's aware of it at this point, whether it's guys like Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, literally any draft pick they have, new starting left tackle, Kingsley, whether it is post 53 cut deadline day and you're picking up Juju Smith-Schuster and Samaje Perine and freaking Cameron Thomas, like, or you find undrafted free agent Carson Steele, like, it's just an insane world-class organization. And that's what's crazy is they've won back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Like, everyone is going for this team's head. And I mean, that's kind of been the way it's been for a couple of years now, but you get my point, man. Kansas City just vastly improved, and we've been saying it on this channel all offseason. Last year was the year to beat this Kansas City Chiefs team. It was the year. The only thing that I think is really in the back pocket is Joe Burrow against Patrick Mahomes and that track record there. If you guys been watching this channel, like, Kansas City is just significantly better than they were last year, and they won the freaking Super Bowl. So welcome back to the channel. We're obviously talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to run through a couple of different things. We got a good power rankings article. We got a good article from Nate Taylor on The Athletic. And I just want to talk about some of the more recent additions, whether that was free agency, draft, or post-deadline or cut day. So welcome back to the channel. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Let's try and get this video to 100 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. We post at least 1 or 2 Chiefs videos every single week. But obviously, if you guys have been reading any power ranking articles this week, Kansas City's coming in at 1, and it's not even close. A lot of these authors are like, saying there's like freaking levels from 1 versus 2, whether it's San Francisco or Detroit or whoever you have as the second best team in the NFL. There's levels to this. So you had Patrick Mahomes throwing freaking behind the back passes in preseason. They have locked up Creed Humphrey, their superstar stud center. They have one of the fastest players in the NFL at the freaking combine, broke the record, in Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce just signed a fat podcast deal, and you got a week 1 visit against the Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be awesome, and I just am extremely excited. So let's talk about a couple of things that we're keeping an eye on. Number 1 has to be the speed and the new wide receiver room. So I would say, like, the Chiefs lost pieces, right? They lost guys like L'Jarius Sneed in the defensive back room, and I think there's a good argument to be made that I won't come out of the gun and say the secondary is, significantly worse, but the secondary is extremely young, right? Trent McDuffie, freaking stud. Justin Reed, Brian Cook, Najee Johnson, Shamari Connor. It's an extremely younger group, and I feel like we do this every freaking year or every other year with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's like, can these young defensive backs hold themselves? Can they carry their own? And freaking playoff time comes, and these guys are playing like Pro Bowl studs, so I think the answer is yes. But one good thing is, the offense is completely different as far as the wide receiver room goes. We'll talk about Juju a little bit later on in the video. Rashee Rice, one of the actually most sneaky impact and statistical rookie seasons from the wide receiver group last season. You have Hollywood Brown. He's a little bit banged up right now, but Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, the amount of speed in this room, it's just simply not fair. Xavier Worthy ran the 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine, broke the record at 4.21 seconds, and we saw it right away. Even in OTAs before preseason happened, there was that one clip from KC Sports Network in OTAs where he rolls to his left and he throws a 60-yard freaking bomb to Xavier Worthy, and he's in a one-on-one matchup against Brian Cook, the safety, and he made the diving catch in the back of the end zone. But it's just, I know it's OTAs, and it's 11 on 11s. Like, you get what I'm saying. It's OTAs. We're talking about practice. But we saw that immediately in preseason. He had that great game against the Detroit Lions in preseason. He was leading the Chiefs receiving room with 3 catches on 6 targets for 62 yards, including a 22-yard touchdown catch. He also had a nice little jet sweep for 22 yards. He was wide open on that touchdown pass from Carson Wentz. He just swore. Sorry. People get so upset at me in the comment section. Blew past Meek Robertson. The speed is insane. He's got the fastest freaking wide receiver he's had since Tyreek Hill a couple of years ago, and we know how that looked. So The offense finally has that big playability. And we'll actually talk about that just a little bit later on in the video if we have time. Kingsley, you have a stud left tackle who beat out Wanya Morris. This guy's athletic. He can block, whether it's in pass protection, whether it's in run packages. We saw very limited snaps from him in preseason, but he earned an 82.8 pass blocking grade from PFF. Folks, that was the highest mark of any rookie tackle in the NFL playing in the preseason. And he's 6'4", 326 pounds. And the thought process was, Wanya Morris enters his second campaign. And the thought process was he's probably going to win this job. But Kingsley, long term, out of BYU, is going to be your star, second round out of the draft, your star left tackle to protect Patrick Mahomes as he enters his freaking athletic prime of his career. And he won the starting job, like it felt like kind of immediately. So that's terrifying. And then you have two new veterans that you bring in here that we were just talking about, and Juju Smith-Schuster and Samaje Perine. And we made a lot of talking points about Cameron Thomas, who's way deep down in that defensive end group. I mean, Cameron Thomas is a freaking dog. This dude was a dog in college. But even just speaking of Juju, he's 27 years old. And the Chiefs just picked him up. And by the way, we've heard confirmation that these guys are going to be good to go for tomorrow's game against the Baltimore Ravens. Last year, extremely underwhelming. 29 catches for 260 yards and a touchdown. But then we go back 2 years ago when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs and he was the best wide receiver. And, he was huge in the playoffs. He, made some plays in the Super Bowl. Juju's back. And he enters a wide receiver room with Rashee Rice. I'm going to throw Travis Kelce in there. Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Sky Moore, Justin Watson, and McCole Hardman. He's 27 years old. He's in his athletic prime. He's just entering it right now. So, whatever impact he can have on this Chiefs team, remember him. 7-year NFL veteran, played with Kansas City Chiefs. So that's terrifying in its own realm. And then you picked up freaking Samaje Perine, and you still have Carson Steele and Isaiah Pacheco. And it's like, all right, now your running back room's probably the most versatile, probably the most talented, or one of the most talented running back rooms in the National Football League. And he's going to fill in Jerick McKinnon's role from the freaking get-go. So phenomenal pass protector. I think it's kind of widely known that at the running back position, Samaje is one of, if not the best pass protecting running back in the National Football League. So there's another offensive lineman, if need be, for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. Last season, 693 all-purpose yards and a touchdown in 17 games for the Denver Broncos. And he was released because they got a freaking stud from Notre Dame, Audric Estime. They have Jaleel McLaughlin. They have Javonte Williams. There just wasn't a role for Samaje on that team. So Kansas City is by far the best roster in the NFL. They are by far the best team in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. And I cannot wait for tomorrow, and I cannot wait for the Chiefs regular season. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Guys, give me a score prediction for tomorrow night's game against the Baltimore Ravens. And hopefully we'll see you in like 36 hours with a victory recap video.